Alright, y'all, we're going to be looking at 5.4, which deals with complex fractions. And what we want to do is simplify the complex fractions. So let me start this now. I got 5 plus 5 over 6 all over 4 minus 3 over 5. Okay, so by hand, remember, treat that like a 1 under the 5, 1 under the 4. So what I do is I find a common denominator between all the denominators. So I'm going to find a common denominator between 6, 1, 1, and 5. So the smallest number that 5 and 6 basically go into would be 30. So what I do then is I multiply all 4 parts by the 30. So I got 30 times my 5 over 1 plus 30 times my 5 over 6. All that's over 30 times my 4 over 1 minus my 30 times 3 over 5. Now, watch what I do. So 30 will divide by 1 and make 30. So 30 times 5 is 150. Plus, watch what I do here. 30 divided by 6 is 5. So now 5 times 5 makes that a 25. So notice how I was able to get rid of one of the fractions up there. On the bottom, 30 divided by 1 is 30. So 30 times 4 is 120. Minus, watch this, 30 divided by 5 making a 6. And then 6 times 3 is 18. So if you notice now, 150 plus 25 will give me 175 on top. 120 minus 18 gives me 102 on the bottom. And if you want to check that, 175 divided by 102 equals 1.71 blah blah blah. But remember, we can hit math and then enter twice and turn that back into a fraction, and I get 175 over 102. Now, watch how you can do this problem on the calculator. If you do it on the calculator, you want to put parentheses around the top and the bottom. So watch what I do. I'm going to do parentheses 5 plus 5 divided by 6, close parentheses, divided by, open parentheses, 4 minus 3 divided by 5, close parentheses. When I hit enter, I get my decimal, but remember I want to hit math, enter twice, and I get 175 over 102. Alright, number 2 has 4 over 5 plus 1 over 3, all divided by 5 over 9 minus 1 over 3. Alright, so let me find my LCD again. So I want the smallest number that a 5, a 9, and a 3 all go into. So I would look at the 5 and 9. Their smallest number they both go into is 45, and 3 will go into 45. So I'm going to make my LCD 45. So we're going to multiply all 4 of them by 45. And then do that to the bottom. 45 times 5 over 9 minus the 45 times 1 over 3. Now I'm going to divide and multiply. Watch this. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 9 times 4, 36. Plus 45 divided by 3 is 15. 15 times 1 is 15. On the bottom, 45 divided by 9 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Minus 45 divided by 3 is 15, and 15 times 1 is 15. So now we add the top, subtract the bottom. So 36 plus 15 is 51. 25 minus 15 is 10. So let's see, 51 divided by 10 is going to give me a decimal. I'm going to hit math and enter twice. And I still get 51 over 10, which means that is final answer. 3 has a x squared over a y to the 5th divided by a x to the 6th divided by y to the 3rd. Notice these are single terms on top and bottom instead of the binomial type terms. So what I want to do is make this a x squared over y5 divided by the x6 over y to the third. So I'm going to write it as division in standard form. Now, because now I'm going to take the x squared over y5, turn this to multiplication, and then flip that so that I get a y3 over x6. So remember, x's can cancel each other, and then the y's can cancel each other. Now notice, exponents are bigger on the bottom for both the variables, so I expect all the variables to stay in the bottom. So let's see what we get. Since the y's are bigger on the bottom, 5 minus 3 leaves me a y2. It has to stay in the bottom. The x's are bigger on the bottom. 6 minus 2 would leave me an x4. Now, since everything's on the bottom and nothing's left on top, we have to put a 1 on top. Because really, when you're canceling these variables out, you're putting 1s in their place. So, final answer, and then let's move on. Alright, let's see what I got here for 4. 9a squared minus b squared over ab divided by 3a minus b over b. Alrighty, so let's see what I'm going to do here. I'm going to treat this like I did a while ago with the division. I'm going to bring my 9a squared minus b squared over ab. I'm going to divide that by 3a minus b over b, which means I'm going to rewrite this as multiplication, which means I'm going to flip this one so I get a b over 3a minus b. So the trick on this one is to try to simplify that top left by factoring it, because that's perfect squares. So since that's perfect squares, it's going to give me a 3a and a 3a. That's negative, so I get a plus and a minus, and then I get a b and a b. All that's over ab times the b over 3a minus b. Notice what's going to happen. The 3a minus b's will cancel. This b will cancel with that b. So all that's left is a 3a plus b on top, all over the a on bottom. Alright, let's see what we got next. Alright, y'all, number 5. Let's see what they got here. They got 1 over x plus 6. All that's over 1 over x minus 8. So this one I'd probably put some 1s under those. I'm going to find me the least common denominator between an x, a 1, and an x. So the only thing on the bottom that really needs fixed is the LCD of the x. But remember, I got to multiply all 4 of them by the x. So x times 1 over x plus x times 6 over 1. Then I'll have my x times 1 over x minus my x times my 8 over 1. So watch this. These x's cancel, making a 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Plus, here nothing cancels. X divided by 1 is x. But x times 6 is 6x. On the bottom, these x's cancel, making a 1. So 1 times 1 is 1. Minus, x divided by 1 is x. So x times that 8 would give me 8x. And that is our final answer. Alright, y'all, we got one more to go on this assignment. U minus 1 over u all over u plus 1 over u. So treat that like 1's on the bottom again. LCD between 1 and u's is the u. So let's multiply all 4 of these by the u. And then on bottom do the same thing. U times u over 1 plus the u times 1 over u. So watch this one, y'all. U divided by 1 is still a u. So u times u is u squared minus, look here, the u's cancel, making a 1. So 1 times 1 is 1. Now on the bottom, u divided by 1 is still u. So u times u is u squared plus the u's cancel, making a 1. So 1 times 1 is 1. Now, would try to factor this and simplify because the top is perfect squares. But if you look at the bottom, u squared plus 1, we cannot factor because that's prime, which means this would be our final answer. So the trick on these is to see what you got. Do you got binomials up there? Do you got monomials? And then you got to get rid of those extra fractions within the fractions. Okay? So, good luck on that. And until next time, goodbye.